We are born. 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 We
Chills, literal chills from this beautiful introduction. Hello, everyone. I hope that everyone is doing great. The market is kind of okay. My portfolio is kind of okay. Hope that you too. Hello to Paolo. Hello, Chris. For lots of familiar faces. It's super nice to see you. As you may notice, one familiar face isn't here with us right now. Cyrus has a little bit of a hiccup and he'll be right on his way. He'll join us through the live. But don't worry, the slides are exactly the same and we're going to go over the content for this assembly. And we're going to be answering some questions. So if you have questions during the assembly for me, for Cyrus, in French or in English, about anything around SwissBorg, feel free to put them in the comments. I will be reading them out, sometimes as we go along, sometimes at the end, at the Q&A time. Without further ado, what are we going to be talking about today? As you can see here, we've got our presentation that will go over the hocus pocus, the ecosystem rewards. We're going to be talking about the next vote, which is a very important one, so you'll want to stick for that. And then we're going to go through the Q&A. So let's begin. If you haven't noticed yet, then it means you don't watch the powwows, and that's not very cool. And you don't read our emails, and that's not very cool either. But we have released a crypto hocus pocus, which gives you insights on what we believe will be this year's crypto success or not. And we have all of the details there. It's a very in-depth analysis on the market, macro perspective, everything that you need to know to get an edge on everyone else and to understand the market a lot better without having to do as much of the research. This is a really well condensed, shortened slide-like show. You can read through it very quickly. And at the end, you even have some very funny cartoons with some important actors commenting some funny things that are real, mostly. Let's get this a little bit bigger. One of the sections that I think is extremely important to understand is buybacks. The buybacks have nearly tripled from 2024 to 2025. For people like you and me who are on Twitter, who are watching all of the hype that is being built around some projects, we know that buybacks are kind of the new narrative. There are so many projects that have started buybacks, doing buybacks, redistributing buybacks, airdrops. It's one of the new cool things. And this is because what happens with buybacks is that you're buying some of the supply back from people that are selling. So you're creating an asymmetry between the selling and the buying, making the price go higher or sustaining the price. It's very important to do it in a way that is predictable and that is really recurring. And the more money you use for the buybacks, obviously makes it more impactful. So we can see that in 2024, we had $9.7 billion worth of buyback across the crypto industry. And now we're on 25 billion. And we estimate that it's going to go, of course, a lot bigger. Why? Buybacks create momentum. It can help reach new highs because since we're creating this demand, we're bringing an extra pulse to the price action of a token, we can go from a token that would have done $1 to $1.20 with the right buyback to $1 and $1.50 with the same exact people buying the same exact amount, because there's this additional buying power that is there in order to help. They create momentum and they help with performance as well. What you have to kind of take into account as well is how big this buyback is. Just because a project says we're doing a buyback does not mean that this buyback is going to be the best in the market, and does not mean that that token will necessarily outperform anything. You have to look at how big the buyback is compared to how much token is on the market and how much volume there is on that token. If, for example, a $20 million market cap token with $200 of volatility a day does a $20 million buyback, then there you know that, okay, there's first of all something shady is going on, but secondly, this token will go up in price. So what is SwissBorg doing about buybacks? As you know, on the 30th of September, I believe, of last year, we launched our new pay-to-trade model, and that model includes a buyback. Any transaction done inside the SwissBorg app, let me put myself bigger here. Every transaction done inside the SwissBorg app, from standard accounts to elite accounts, everyone has a cashback, and that cashback is in Borg that we use and buy directly from the market. So it means that if you do, for example, Bitcoin to Ethereum, there's no Borg in there. We will take a fee in Ethereum, since you swapped from Bitcoin to Ethereum, and use that fee to buy Borg. And this for you, for your friends, for your family, for everyone who uses the SwissBorg app. And we believe that that buyback, if we have a bad year in 2026, will be worth 9.1 million. But if we have a good year, we'll have around $20 million worth of buyback, which is huge. It's just insane. If you look at the size of the token, the volume versus competition, and the size of the buyback, I don't think you'll find any out there that are bigger. And if you do, they probably aren't projects that have been here as long as SwissBorg has. So also tag me on Twitter if you find one. I'd be very interested. Results of the governance. Last time we had a vote about the ecosystem rewards. Ecosystem rewards are the tokens of our sister projects like XBorg, Galactica, and all of the spin-offs that SwissBorg has. We have a certain percentage of their allocation, and we'll be redistributing it to the top Borg holders on the SwissBorg app. But we said, do you want 100% of it to go to the top Borg lockers? Or should a portion of that ecosystem reward also go to the top traders? Top traders in the app are the people who are doing a lot of trading, who are swapping big volumes or just using the app a lot. The definition for this will come up later, and we'll explain how to get these ecosystem rewards during the keynote. The first vote, we had option A that had 37%. The first vote, we had 37% on option A for 100% to elite, and then 75-25 was number 2 with 29%. But since we didn't get the quorum, we did the vote again, with this time just the 2 most popular answers. And the winner was option B with 75-25, and 58% of the votes went for that option B. 5% abstained. This means that 75% of the ecosystem rewards will be going to the top Borg lockers. So the way of getting that is easy. Lock your Borg in the SwissBorg app. And then 25% will go to the top traders. And we will be working out and exactly explaining how this will happen as soon as we can. The next steps. This is a very important one, guys. We will have a keynote in February, and it will be on the 25th, live in Lausanne for those of you who can make it. And if not, you'll also see it in English a little bit later on YouTube here, of course. And here we're going to be talking about financial freedom and how to be an adaptable investor, which is the usual, putting in context and showing that we do our research. And then we're going to be talking about what's exciting all of you guys, the roadmap and the 2026 products, and of course, what we're going to do with Borg. Now, last time we had a keynote, we decided that we would try something a little bit different. And instead of talking about products that are going to be coming down the line a long time from now, like the cashback could have been, we decided to talk about it very, very close to its release. And that's exactly what we're planning to do during this keynote as well. So if you're curious about what's going to be new inside your app, if you're curious about the new products, about the exciting things that you're going to be able to use, then that keynote is something you should absolutely not miss. Next vote. Okay. Now we're going to be getting on some territory. I can already feel the DMs that are going to be coming into my Discord, into my Twitter, and the discussions, because this is a touchy topic, but it's an extremely interesting one as well. So buckle up. What should be the cooldown period for locked Borg? As you know, right now, you have a rank inside the SwissBorg app. And to get this rank, you have to put your Borg in a staking pool, in a locking pool. And that pool, if you want to take your Borg out of it, requires a 2-week cooldown. We have noticed that during the last big pump of SwissBorg to 64 cents, one of the reasons that Borg went back down is because there was a lot of emotional selling of the token, because people could unlock very, very quickly. You could unlock quickly, I could unlock quickly, and that also meant that we couldn't keep that momentum for as long as we wanted to. We've looked at the data in depth for this, and we've established that we could have a better momentum driving mechanism if the locking period or if the cooldown period was longer. So we're putting it up for a vote so that you guys can choose. Here we have the question that you will see on your app tomorrow morning. What should be the cooldown period for lock Borg? 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or 14 days. Keep the current system, or you can abstain. This is a Swiss thing. We like to be giving the option to abstain. If you want, you can always abstain. Just as a reminder, before we had the 12 month, the 365 days. This was the system up until 6 months ago. And your tokens were pretty much, everyone who's premium today, your tokens were pretty much all there. And that meant that you couldn't really go back out and back into the premium. So the tokens that were essentially in the premium, well, you couldn't sell them. So what you have to think here is, do you want to have the tokens that are easily sellable for you and everyone else? Or do you want to have the tokens that are a little bit less quick to sell and you can't really take a very fast opportunity just based on your emotions? Here, for me personally, I don't mind. I like the 3 months, and I also like the 1 month, because I feel like it's enough that I get my salary once a month, and I don't feel like my next salary is ever that far away. So it's not too much time to wait. But I also know that sometimes when the market goes a little bit crazy, I have a tendency to just click on this unlock and then I miss the rewards for 2 weeks. That's not fun either. So my personal is one and there, but if you guys here already have some advice or some opinions, I'd be happy to read some out just so we can get a discussion going. But here we go. This is the vote. I think it's quite clear. I think it's quite understandable. And definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to send it over. So vote opens tomorrow at 9 a.m. and ends next Monday on the 2nd of Feb at midnight. If you have locked Borg, you have to vote for it. You will see it inside the app in the profile section. You have a little governance widget. It's very fast to access, and it's an incentivized vote. So you will actually get a governance reward at the end of the quarter if you participate. So set your reminder, don't forget, and yeah, stake and vote. This is the end of the presentation. We have some questions that were asked on Luma, so we're going to be taking a couple of those. I see that Cyrus still isn't there, but nonetheless, we're not going to drag this eternally, so don't worry, guys. We're going to be answering some questions, and then I'm going to happily let you enjoy your evening and hopefully dinner soon enough. All right, what questions do we have? Are you working on child sub-accounts? We would really like them. This is a question that has come back, I think, pretty much every single assembly, every single Guardian, every single keynote. Are we working on them? Not actively, which means that there's no team that is currently developing it as we speak. But I have started doing the brainstorming and the ideation for how we can make it happen. So yes, it's being worked on, but it's not currently being implemented. So you, unfortunately, will have to wait a couple more months for this one at least. Are there plans to list all Solana and base tokens as others are doing? I don't believe so. We have listed a lot of tokens last year. There were, I don't have the number here, but 3 digits worth of tokens listed, and most of them were on Solana thanks to the integration to decentralized exchanges. But we have noticed that a lot of the tokens are unfortunately low quality projects, and our goal here is to help you guys become independent, financially free, and this isn't going to be done through low quality projects. So we're probably not going to list all Solana tokens anytime soon, but maybe one day you'll be able to see a like a Trader Pro version, and then you would be able to access everything. But at this very moment, no, it's not likely. There's also some questions in French. Est-ce qu'on est en mesure d'évaluer le prix qu'aurait le BORG actuellement sans le buyback? So this means, would we be able to say how what the price of BORG would be without the buyback? I'll answer it quickly in French and quickly in English. We can see if that's a format you guys like or not. De manière très précise, non. C'est seulement possible de dire qu'il serait plus bas qu'aujourd'hui parce que le buyback, il sert vraiment en tant que support. Ça ajoute un achat constant dans le marché, même s'il n'existe pas. Même s'il n'y a pas la demande, même si la personne ne voulait pas acheter le BORG, le buyback le fait. Et donc, ça amène un support. On estime, par rapport aux projections, que le buyback, il aide entre 25 et 35%. C'est ce qu'on avait vu à la dernière keynote, mais on n'a pas de valeur exacte sûre qu'on peut vous donner pour ça. C'est très, très compliqué de calculer. So here, I was saying, unfortunately, we can't give a very precise price of what BORG would be without the buyback. But what we do know is that the buyback is generating a consistent buying pressure on the token and definitely has helped stop its drop. We estimate that between 25 and 35% is what the token would be at lower if we didn't have it. But unfortunately, we don't really have a specific number to give you that we can be certain of. I can ask a data analyst if it's possible to do it, but I don't think it is. Claire, hi Claire, hope you're doing great. Is there an update on the earn strategies to be paid out in BORG? I don't have an update for you, but there might be an update if you look at the keynote. Unfortunately, some of these questions, when they're talking about exciting stuff, they're going to have to wait for the keynote because that's, of course, where we're keeping a lot of exciting stuff for. Are you planning to allow and create conversion of token dust into BORG? We have looked at it, and it is a feature that is on the roadmap, but it hasn't landed at the top of the priority pile yet. So we have an idea of how we could do it, but we don't necessarily see that it would be something wildly used. But if you guys think that I'm wrong, please let me know. I'm happy to revisit its prioritization, and we can see if it's something that we can fit a little bit higher than it is. But compared to what you'll see in the keynote, see how I'm pushing that keynote back again. Compared to what you'll see at the keynote, I think that you'll forget about conversion of dust at least for 2 weeks, and then it will come back in the next assembly. Quand est-ce que nous allons pouvoir utiliser la carte de débit avec le cashback? Lude, il va falloir regarder la keynote, mais la keynote donnera la date exacte. Sûrement. Je promets rien, c'est pas mon produit, mais the keynote will have a lot more information about the cards. The PM will be presenting his side of it, unless I do it. I don't think so. And all of the news for how it's going to work, the different perks, the different advantages, and some of the other surprises, of course, will be talked about during this keynote. SwissBorg is increasingly focusing on trading. Are other use cases also being worked on? Yes, definitely. The trading part is something that we have started working on recently because it's very important to keep the discipline of checking your assets and moving them around when necessary. Or you can also DCA and forget. But often we saw people caught between big trends and act only on emotions. So there's only really 2 ways of doing this. Either you cut emotions completely, either you are very, very agile and faster than everyone else. And trading is very useful to be able to catch these volatility spikes. And we've also noticed some progress from a lot of successful traders in the app that are using the smart engine and getting very good returns and that are getting paid to trade as well. Depending on your premium tier, that might have already happened. So yeah, next up though, we have a lot of really fundamental products that are going to be looking at how to grow your wealth predictably over the long run. So we'll be revealing some of that. It's also featured in the original white paper of SwissBorg. So this is still an idea that is on the table and that will come back. If you haven't read it, check it out. It's a 2017 piece that is super interesting to read. How can you improve the quality of the alpha projects? Almost 100% of the project in the last 18 months lost a lot of money. Improving the quality of new launches in crypto is very, very difficult. You have to take into account that, first of all, most projects, even the successful one, have had a massive drawdown during this last year. But secondly, these are all new projects, new ideas, new communities that are trying to differentiate themselves and become something out of nothing. And it's high risk, high return. It's a bit like finding SwissBorg in 2017. SwissBorg was an ICO, which is pretty much the same thing as an alpha deal would be today. And if you got in at that time, then today, or especially in 2021, you would have had, an amount of from 5 cents to $1.64 is, I don't know, the multiplier, maybe something like 80. You would have gotten a good multiplier. Absolutely not 80. 80 would have been $4. But you would have done a very good multiplier on your money. However, it's not likely because you know what they say: the higher the risk, the higher the rewards. And here we're working with high risk, high rewards products. So the due diligence, hopefully the market can help. Invest in alpha deals that have niches in which you believe in the long run, and do as much research as you can. And then you're putting the odds on your side, but we can never guarantee that one will be successful. Julianas, bravo pour le design de la carte. I don't know if you guys have seen the card yet, but it does look stunning. Julianas, SwissBorg Mania, has done the design for it. He also does an enormous amount of work to help French speakers understand everything around SwissBorg. So a huge shout out to him. And of course, I wasn't surprised when I saw that his design was super pretty. So yeah, you'll see that very soon. Let's see. I suggest 3 days of staking and destaking, 10% max of your bag, one time each 3 months for the bronze, silver, gold level. That's a good idea. Let's see what the vote brings in, and then we can look at something like this. I like the only being able to unstake a certain percentage of your portfolio, but then also you don't want to necessarily bring a barrier to entry that is too high, because otherwise people won't want to lock as much. And may I remind everyone that right now we're on an all-time high in terms of BORG locked for a certain amount of time, because we have around 400 million that are locked for at least 2 weeks. So this is getting all-time high, which means that if there is an uptrend for BORG, it will go even stronger than the last ones you've seen. Because as you know, if you put the same demand with less supply, then your buying power is bigger. And if you put the same demand with a lot of supply, your buying power isn't as big. So now we're reducing that supply. And as soon as there'll be a strong case of demand, it's going to go a lot stronger than last time. That's what we're trying to look at. Certificat Mika, this is something, unfortunately, guys, I am not competent to talk about it. I'm not sure what the stages are, but I can make sure that we get something to you very soon and ask the relevant people here. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Exactly. All right. Quelle est aujourd'hui la répartition de vos revenus entre trading fees, trade, lending, produits earn, BORG et services B2B? Alors, quelle brique devient dominante? La brique dominante, c'est les trading fees. C'est donc tout ce qui est trading sur l'application, c'est les swaps d'un token à l'autre. Et puis après, le reste. Est moins. On a un nouvel invité. Je vous présente Cyrus qui est ici. Hello, hello.
Salut. Plaisir de vous voir. Je m'excuse, j'étais en meeting et j'ai pas vu l'heure. J'espère que j'ai pas raté des belles surprises que Benji était en train de présenter.
J'ai rien révélé de la keynote. J'ai juste dit que ça allait être excellent.
Ok, ça fait plaisir. Est-ce que tu as partagé On est sur quelle question alors?
Là, on est sur les questions du public. Bon, on est en anglais aussi d'ailleurs. It's supposed to be in English.
Okay, perfect. Let's switch then.
Okay, let me see. Tic, 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 tic. Est-ce que vous avez déjà simulé un scénario de type bank run crypto, retrait massif simultané et quels mécanismes techniques de liquidité garantissent la continuité des retraits? C'est une excellente question, honnêtement. C'est pas très bullish, mais c'est une excellente question. Tu veux la prendre?
Bank run, c'est-à-dire sur quoi comme portefeuille, quoi comme logiciel, ça veut tout dire et rien dire. Donc, je sais pas comment je peux vraiment répondre à celle-là, mais en gros, bon, on a plein de procédures de sécurité qui sont mises en place, qui permet de finalement avoir une wallet. Et tu pourrais pas faire un bank run juste avec toutes les wallets en même temps.
Et il faut aussi se rappeler que vous avez le Proof of Reserves. C'est un site qu'on a mis en place en 2022 qui vous permet de regarder exactement les wallets que nous, on possède à votre nom avec vos balances sur ces wallets. Donc, il faut savoir que nous, on n'a pas votre argent comme Binance. Il n'est pas mélangé avec plein de comptes ensemble. Et puis, et c'est pas la même chose. Vous n'avez pas une partie d'une grosse pool. Vous avez vraiment votre wallet qui est directement traçable et vous pouvez aller regarder ça. Donc, techniquement, ce serait possible que vous retiriez tout. Est-ce que SwissBorg réfléchit à des launch pools comme Binance et BitGet? By the way, for the English community, all of the questions are coming in French, and we're going to answer the questions with the language that they come on in. So if you want to hear more English questions, you need to come up with the question, guys. We're going to answer what we've got here.
That's a fair mechanism, I believe.
It's a meritocracy. BitGet et Top Tier LP sont très nombreux, lucratifs, et il faut engager ces BJB. Launch pool, c'est quelque chose qu'on a en vue.
Alors, juste pour comprendre, launch pool, qu'est-ce que c'est la différence entre un launch pool et un alpha early deal en fait?
On a des alphas qui étaient des launch pools. Celui d'Agora, par exemple, c'est quand les tokens ils vont dans une LP, qu'ils sont split entre, par exemple, USDC et AGA et que ça donne un passive income. Donc, c'est si on ferait plus de ça. Mais on en a déjà fait, franchement.
Ouais.
On en a déjà fait. Mais c'est vrai que plus, ça pourrait être cool. Il y a beaucoup de gens qui sont intéressés par les sub-accounts et par la carte, évidemment. J'ai dit qu'il fallait... I've set the expectations super high. Hi, Danny. Hope you're doing great.
Plaisir d'avoir Danny, ouais.
No. Deutsch doesn't work. So this means, why will the Lausanne keynote be the best keynote, I believe?
So why would it be the best? I think there's multiple reasons. We have probably the most packed, I would say, amount of great news to come. Il y a genre 5 annonces différentes. Some of those you already know what it is, et il y en a d'autres que vous savez pas tout ce qu'il en est. Donc, it's going to be a really nice combination of how you are yourself, how you become financially free, and how we together swarm in and build the best network and ecosystem that could fairly reward everyone. Donc, ça, c'est vraiment, vraiment, je pense, la grosse différence de celle-là, c'est qu'il y a, il y a vraiment, vraiment plein de produits, services, et dans quelques-uns, vous n'êtes pas du tout au courant. Il y a quand même des belles surprises.
Est-ce que tu as envie de teaser un petit peu et de répondre à David?
Alors, moi, j'ai payé aujourd'hui avec la carte au restaurant. J'ai acheté une pizza qui était très belle avec la carte et c'était trop stylé, quoi. J'étais avec des potes, des très bons burgers. Les organisateurs de Caprice, si jamais. Et je leur ai montré, ils étaient là, oh, trop bien, je la veux tout de suite et tout. Comment je fais? C'est pas tout de suite, mais c'est pas trop tard, dans quelques temps. Après, ils ont parlé du design de la carte. Ils disaient, mais comment ça se passait le design? Et j'ai dit, je crois que pour les séries A, il y a une surprise qui arrive. Grâce à Julienas, mille merci à toi d'avoir fait un design incroyable. Okay.
I'm muted, but I can hear you quite well, but maybe, yeah. I don't know if other people agree with this. Okay. Proof of reserve. JLV, je crois que tu prends les questions du crash FTX, les questions qu'on aurait dû poser à FTX, tu les as demandées à ChatGPT et tu es en train de nous les poser. On a fait une vidéo qui s'appelle In SwissBorg We Trust. Et puis tout ça, c'est dedans. Il y a les proof of reserves, il y a tous les liens. Il y a un article qui est vachement excellent qui explique aussi les relations avec les tiers pour vraiment assurer la sécurité. Donc, je te conseille d'aller lire tout ça parce que c'est assez détaillé. Et oui, tu trouveras les réponses à toutes ces questions-là. C'est pourquoi le yield sur Borg, il est de retour. Le yield, la carte, les comptes enfants, ils sont de retour à chaque fois.
Alors, on a des news probablement qui vont arriver pour certaines de ces questions-là pendant le live, dans le keynote du 25 à Lausanne, qui va être très cool. Et d'ailleurs, pour ceux qui sont en physique, il y aura quelque chose de plus. Donc, venez vraiment à Lausanne, c'est très sympa. And the UK Roadshow, Claire, yes. We will probably do it in the first week of March to be confirmed very shortly. And we would love to, and oh, by the way, I have another idea. I just realized, and I'm very sorry about this. Glasgow is one of our biggest community, literally. It's one of the city where there's the biggest amount of burgers. Yeah, shame on us, Benji, to not know that. So I don't know if we're going to make it this time, but I really want to go to Glasgow. I really, really want to go to Glasgow. So that's definitely a place that we should try to figure out. I know it's a little bit far away from everything, but I will go there personally.
Maybe we should wait until there's a bit of sun.
The sun is the beautiful Scottish people
that's nice. There was a question by here, this one. I think this is Draz. This one, Draz. A pot for 3 months, a pot for 6 months, a pot for 1 year, and a pot for 5 years. You would lock for 5 years, just out of interest.
Oh yeah.
Can you put a yes if you would lock your Borg for, let's say, 4 years, and I give you, let's say, like this, but I give you 10%. I give you 10% APY, but you have to lock it for 4 years. Yes or no? Would you do it? This is a hypothetical. Don't take my word for it. I'm just interested. Is it something that you would do? Write it now in the live chat. So yes, yes, yes. A part, yes, of course. You don't have to lock all of your tokens. No for Steve, okay, yes, here. No. Okay, interesting. So it's something in the whereabouts of 50-50, it feels like. No, yes. Only like 20%. I did it for 7 years already. Now, where is that one? Now, Rémi, yes. Rémi, yeah. That's the spirit. So you would do for 4 more.
And by the way, Rémi, it's good that you're here. I was thinking as well, because we always go to Paris, but I was wondering if Lyon would be, because we have a lot of people in Lyon. I checked the data. Lyon is like a huge hub for SwissBorg. So I don't know if we'll go to Lyon, si on va directement à Lyon cette fois. Mais j'aimerais beaucoup qu'on organise quelque chose à Lyon parce que finalement, la communauté de Lyon est assez grande. Et voilà.
Et moi, j'y suis facile. C'est 1 heure à moto. C'est très, très rapide. Tac. Ok. Is there something that you want to share, Cyrus? Or more questions?
I know about the kids account. I think j'ai envie de m'excuser par rapport à ça parce que c'est vraiment quelque chose dans lequel je comprends. Mais honnêtement, la golden thématique, je pense que c'est pour moi la pizza count, quoi. Donc, c'est un peu alors je sais que c'est pas parfait, ainsi de suite, mais vous pouvez aussi mettre en attendant ou le top burger, par exemple. These for me are like very like long-term aspects ones that could do great. And I could see like that. We don't have yet a solution for the multiple accounts. It's just that as we built the app, is just more difficult than we wish. But it's still in the roadmap. C'est toujours dans les plans de le faire. It's just going to take. We're going to need to make you a little bit even more patient. And sorry about that.
Perfect. Maybe, Sai, do you want to talk a little bit about the vote, maybe? Because I gave my perspective, but I think it's an important one. So maybe it's nice if you also get that.
Yeah, well, I strongly look. Benji did a great job. Back in the day, we were locking for 1 year. Then now we tried for 2 weeks. I think it's always emotional for seeing the board going up or down, and emotions is never the best thing for the long-term perspective. Just wanted to share something else, but I can't share it yet. But the investment path in anything is if you look at short term, it's very difficult. I mean, not for everyone, by the way. I'm sure a lot of people here are very talented traders, and I'm sure doing a killing out of it. So I'm not saying that this is for everyone. I see that it is better, I think, to have a long-term perspective because we're not all good at emotionally trading. I think the second number two is as we all have a lot of Borg here, there's no hiding behind this. Is if we have a higher lock system, we will sell less. Just as easy as that. And if we will sell less, then there's less potential of correction. Alex is not here today, but I think he did a very good analysis of what happened last time when our token was pumping amazingly, went to 68 cents, and then 1010 happened, which is a disaster. But I believe that if 1010 didn't happen, which again is the biggest liquidation of the history of crypto, our token would have gone way over $1. That's for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's just that we to be honest, we were only 30% away from, 50% away, from that dollar mark. So I think it's unfortunate, but 100%. If we're able to lock more tokens at with a higher cooldown period, then it's I think so more even better. Shows more loyalty, shows more confidence, and that is what essentially makes a very robust market. If you look at real estate, right? People cannot really sell real estate all the time. That's why it's a very stable market. If you look at essentially private equity, it's the same thing. I think so. The thing about crypto is that we always want to sell everything because we think the castle is going to catch fire and it's going to burn down and you're going to die in it. And the truth is that SwissBorg, we've been here now for 10 years or 9 years, and we're doing good, right? Okay, we've not been being the top 10 crypto for forever, but that's true. But if you look at any 2017 project, I think so we're maybe 5 people that are alive since that, right? And we have always delivered, and I think you guys have been following us forever, so we're bonded for life. And if we're not bonded for life, we're hopefully bonded at least for more than 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. And that's my point. I think this is where on doit tous être d'accord. Si on arrive à staker pour 1 mois ou 3 mois, ou 6 mois ou 12 mois, c'est pas non plus une vision très long-termiste. Et je pense que c'est pour ça que c'est intéressant pour vous de voter ce que vous préférez le plus. Est-ce que c'est suffisant 1 mois, 3 mois, 6 mois, 1 an? C'est finalement à vous de choisir. Mais je pense que ça va vraiment vous permettre de mieux traiter votre fortune et votre patrimoine. Et ça va surtout permettre aussi à maximiser la chance du BORG pour qu'il s'apprécie.
Parfait. Nickel. Juliana se demande les points techniques par rapport au vote. Si on n'a pas 50% pour une réponse, est-ce qu'on revotera? Oui, on vous redira. Mais si on a la même situation que la dernière fois, on revotera comme la dernière fois, effectivement.
Yeah, so the idea is if we don't have a double majority of over 50%, I think that the best is we take the two. We should have discussed this before, but in terms of governance, but I think that makes the most sense is you just take the best two that are voted, and then we do another vote within the next few weeks, and that's the best. Yeah, that was the question I wanted to ask to Maximus. Why not consider locking periods, for example, 1-3 months with option to unlock halfway through the period to burn and penalty? It's so funny. It's always like, I really feel we don't need to work that much, Benji. We just need to ask questions to the community because like and that's the whole purpose of here. Not that I'm lazy. I think you guys are smarter than us, or at least together we are much smarter. And the swarm of this 500 people listening here are much smarter than I am, no doubt. And you too, Benji. Sorry about that. But we thought about that, and Benji, you've been working more on it, so you tell us where we are. And Domain wanted to push this massively. I remember that.
I'm a big fan of this way of doing things with the penalty, but then we saw a lot of studies about penalties when you need to. Is there an example of something I had to leave and then I paid a penalty? But there are studies of apps that did this, and what it meant is that people, when they left, they often left forever, and then they had a very high churn rate. We actually have a lot of people that temporarily leave and then come back, and we don't want to sacrifice that because in the long run, it would hurt to have that penalty. I know that it's someone's decision, and that you have to make a choice and all of that, and it's the own person's fault, but the result is the same. The churn rate is bigger, and they don't come back, they don't reactivate. So that was why we didn't want to put the penalty. At least
really.
now. It's always possible to do things in the future. If we notice, a very good demand, or that you guys all really want something, then we can obviously work on it. But the initial idea of why this isn't the way that we're going was what I just explained. Yeah.
There was as well the idea of enabling different, let's say, cooldown periods, and that could give you like better power, so better XPs. That is still in discussion as well. Where imagine, like, for example, I don't know, Remy here or Chris or whatever. One feels like he wants to stake 1 year, where the other one wants to stake, I don't know, 3 months. Well, then the other person that stakes 4 times more, does he then have a multiplier of XP points that is higher than the former one? Et ça serait un peu l'idée potentielle aussi, c'est de dire, plus tu lock, plus tu peux cumuler des XP points, plus ça te permet finalement de grimper dans les ranks et d'avoir une sorte de méritocratie plus juste, et moins, on va dire, plus juste, quoi. Donc, those are the 2 options we have. We don't yet know how this will be done because Benji travaille dessus, mais c'est plus compliqué qu'on veut, comme toujours.
Oui, c'est plusieurs mois de travail pour avoir un système comme ça. Donc d'abord, changer le cooldown d'aujourd'hui, c'est facile. Et puis c'est le cooldown du cashback aussi, il faut garder ça en tête. Et puis après, rajouter, par exemple, on pourrait remettre un cooldown à 2 semaines, mais qui vaut 0,5 points. Donc si tu veux être bronze avec 2 semaines, il faut locker 2000 tokens. On pourrait aussi mettre 1 à 3 mois si, par exemple, c'est 1 mois qui est voté. Tout ça, c'est encore possible. Mais là, on change vraiment, c'est juste à l'instant T, les bords qui sont lockés par nous et vous, et puis aussi les bords qui vont dans le cashback. Combien de temps de cooldown est-ce qu'ils devraient avoir, à votre avis?
Alors, there's someone asking for crypto vulgarisateur. Tu demandes où il est le lien pour la conférence à Lausanne. C'est vrai qu'il n'est pas ultra visible sur l'OMA. J'ai déjà dit ça. Il faudrait changer. On va le mettre dans le commentaire. Dan, if you could find the link and share it, that would be awesome. There you go. It's here. We have 222 people that are coming so far, which is going to be cool.
Indeed. Link in the description. Dan answered.
Perfect.
Cool. Exactement, Trace. C'est juste une première phase. Après, est-ce qu'on pourra avoir plusieurs locks simultanés? C'est quelque chose qu'on a envie de faire. Ce serait mon équipe aussi. Je pense que s'il y a des child accounts, ça pourrait aussi tomber chez moi. Et puis après, c'est une question de priorisation. Mais dans l'idée, d'ici la prochaine keynote, on devrait l'avoir. J'arrive pas à imaginer que ça prenne plus de temps que ça.
Kevin Montero, you're asking for a yield sur BTC, on BTC. Est-ce que tu voudrais un yield sur le BTC ou est-ce que tu voudrais un loan sur tes BTC? Et je pense que c'est ça la question qui peut, peut traduire. Et dans les deux cas, il y a une possibilité, si tu veux un yield, une personne derrière peut potentiellement t'emprunter sur tes BTC, un loan, et ainsi de suite. I will be in Lausanne. Benji will be there. Aurélien will be there. I think Alex, not too sure, is going to be there. There's going to be Alex Petou from the team and many other people that maybe you know or you don't know from the team. And as always, we're going to have a very nice, enjoyable night. We have to figure out the bar where we could head out after. That's always the last minute thing.
And maybe we can plan it out a bit better this time. I'll do some research.
Perfect.
We always have been an off-chain wallet. Is there a future where we go on-chain?
Yes, there is a lot of talks there. Nothing is clear yet, but the world is on-chain. Look, we got everything to be on-chain, right? From the ICO to the MEX to everything, the yield and everything. So we know the future is on-chain. There's no doubt about that. We're working. There's always as you guys know, in SwissBorg, there's always labs, right? And these labs hopefully bring out then a vision. I mean, a vision brings out a lab brings out a product and service that we want to deliver to you guys. So we are working on something, but we don't have any ETA. And of course, more will be revealed at a later stage.
Yeah, something that you guys have to keep into account is that we are saying that we're working on stuff and it will be coming, but the keynote will be giving you a lot of insights on some of these answers that we have to keep for now, because otherwise, you know, if we didn't have these ways of stopping ourselves from saying everything, we would just be saying everything, and then the keynote is not news anymore. So we really need to keep it sealed so that you guys can have the best show ever in a month.
There was a question regarding Mika earlier. The truth honest with Mika is that it's been very, very long to go through Mika. We now have literally this week answered all the last questions and believe that it's pretty much should be happening or not. You never know. It's never us that decides if things are perfect or not. But it looks like we are at this stage where it's like, you know, we nailed on the floor. We asked, do you want to marry us? And we're very looking forward to make sure that they will say yes. And
they will say for sure.
for sure. For sure. We will get Mika for sure. Yes. So yeah. As we know, with regulators, things take time. Obviously, we have asked a lot of different licenses of Mika. So there's 7 different services that you could apply for. We asked for 5 of the 7, which is, I think, is one of the only company that actually asked for so many, which now in retrospective was probably too ambitious. Very SwissBorg. And then things were very hectic. Then, unfortunately, Kiln exploit and hack was definitely not great news in September. So this pushed a lot of new questions. in the whole battle of this Mika demand, it's very, very good though what they've done for, I would say, putting us at the highest level of security, being able to put us in the best way for governance, and being able to offer you the best services and product in the most compliant manner ever. So in this way of going back and forth, it was maybe definitely a lot of work, but I believe at the same time it's for good faith, and this will help as well for other licenses that we have applied. We applied to Cayman for offshore users. And there's obviously still more things, and UK, will be probably another new sandbox there, and other different licenses that we've been applying. So what is being done there is being able to as well, on peut se servir de tout le matériel qu'on a fait avec l'AMF en France pour Mika, pour finalement le distribuer sur les autres services auxiliaires qu'on va développer dans les différents autres pays avec les autres régulateurs. Donc, c'est une très bonne chose, malgré qu'on aurait voulu que ça arrive déjà il y a quasiment un an, quoi.
Sometimes it's slow, for sure.
For sure.
Moi, j'adore. Moi, j'ai adoré cette interview.
Ouais. Pair trading, on a perdu du BORG long 100x. C'est clair. Tu mets 1 million, 100 millions, 100x et boum. Perp trading is still a thing that we've been considering a lot, and it's still a hard one. I think it's a great market. I think it's very good for people that are very good at it. 1010 have showed the world that perp trading is as well very dangerous. So yeah, I agree that it could be fun and it could be dangerous. It depends how you manage your tail risk, for sure.
For sure. Revax, un plaisir de vous voir tous les deux. Merci pour ce format en Q&A. Top, des nouvelles d'autres membres du board qu'on n'a pas vu en 2025 sur la chaîne, comme Anthony par exemple.
Anthony, c'est une bonne... alors pour la keynote, il ne sera pas sur la version physique, mais on va faire une vidéo, ça c'est sûr. Christophe sera là en principe. Il est à Lausanne en ce moment. Ouais. Donc il sera...
Il vous envoie des newsletters toutes les semaines, Christophe.
Ouais.
C'est lui qui les fait.
Christophe habite ailleurs, donc il n'habite plus en Suisse. Salut Yves, plaisir de t'avoir vu. Merci d'être là. Est-ce qu'il y a d'autres questions? Laissez la possibilité aux gens de débloquer. Ok, ouais, multiplicateur, ouais. Bon, je pense que tu as 100% raison. Je pense que c'est bien. La flexibilité, ça permet toujours. Ça monte. Je ne peux pas trop en parler, mais ça va être un des topics de la keynote, la customization aussi, ouais.
Voilà.
Question.
Bon, ça fait une demi-heure qu'on répond à des questions. On arrive sur le bureau à Lyon. Je sais pas. Déjà, on va commencer par voir si les restaurants sont bons et puis après, on décide. Cool. Je pense que c'est pas mal. Si tu as envie d'adresser 541 personnes, c'est quand même vachement bien. Merci à tous. N'hésitez pas à mettre un petit like.
Likez, commentez, c'est vraiment important dans cette vidéo.
Likez et souscrivez à la chaîne.
Et j'espère que la version franglais aussi, ça marche avec le switch from English to French, which is okay.
Perfect.
Et puis, mille merci à vous tous. On se voit la semaine prochaine sur le Power, bien sûr. Et encore plus, le plaisir de vous voir à Lausanne le 25. Ça va être très cool. We'll have as well English version that day, most probably a bit later. And then again, we will do a tour. Not all the cities are clear, but for sure, we want to go to France, UK, Belgium, for sure. And it's gonna be fun.
Thank you everyone for attending, and we'll see you at the keynote. Remember, save the date, keep it there. smash like, and we'll see you then with some amazing news that we're very excited and happy about.
Be healthy, be wealthy. Lower BORG equity. Take care, guys. Bye.